Earth is a planet in the solar system, and the main source of energy for it is the Sun. In the depths of the star, a hot ball of gas, thermonuclear reactions occur, releasing a colossal amount of energy. A constant stream of radiation flows from the Sun to our planet, electromagnetic waves of different lengths. Ultraviolet rays 10%, visible light 45%, and infrared radiation 45%. The solar constant, the total radiation flux reaching Earth, is 1.353 kilowatts per square meter and fluctuates slightly depending on processes occurring on the Sun and the radius of our planet's orbit at a specific time. The energy of electromagnetic radiation reaches the Earth's surface in the form of quanta. Light quanta are called photons, and they are essential for the photosynthesis reaction. Light with a wavelength of 380 to 710 nanometers is called photosynthetically active radiation. Photosynthesis, the process of forming organic substances in plant cells with the participation of light energy, is one of the most remarkable phenomena in nature. Thanks to photosynthesis, the Earth's green cover creates about 150 billion tons of organic matter annually. This is the primary pathway through which the cosmic energy of the Sun enters the biosphere. Photosynthesis began to be carried by cyanobacteria in the marine environment approximately 3.3 billion years ago, and less than 500 million years ago, green plants emerged onto land and conquered the planet. There are two types of photosynthesis, anoxygenic and oxygenic. Anoxygenic photosynthesis occurs in a few photosynthetic bacteria, which belong to the subkingdom of Turbacteria. Their photosynthetic pigment is bacteriochlorophyll. Oxygen is not released during anoxygenic photosynthesis. Oxygenic photosynthesis predominates on Earth and is characteristic of all oxyphotobacteria and plants. It occurs only in plant cells containing photosystems, plastids with photosynthetic pigments, the main one being chlorophyll. Photosynthesis consists of green plants using the energy of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to synthesize the organic substances necessary to sustain life, both for a single cell and for a whole multicellular organism. As a result of the photosynthesis reaction, oxygen is released. The mechanism of photosynthesis is as follows. Plants obtain water mainly from the soil, but sometimes also from air saturated with water vapor. Carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere in small amounts, 0.0321%, and enters plants through a leaf stomata. Successful photosynthesis also requires N and Mg, which are components of chlorophyll, and Fe, Co, and Cu, which are found in enzymes. Plants absorb solar energy using the photosynthetic pigments of chloroplasts, which contain a complex membrane photosystem. It contains about 250-400 pigment molecules involved in photosynthesis: chlorophyll, carotenoids, phycobilins. In response to absorbing a light quantum, the photosystem generates a physiological signal. Under intense illumination, a plant uses 1-2% of the radiant energy absorbed by the leaf for photosynthesis, and under low illumination, up to 10%. The remaining energy is converted into heat and used for transpiration and other processes. The intensity of photosynthesis depends on temperature and the plant's water supply. As temperature rises, photosynthesis is activated. but only up to a certain limit. Very high temperatures above 30 degrees per Celsius slow down cellular activity. In mid-latitudes, the optimal temperature for photosynthesis is 15-20 degrees per Celsius. In southern latitudes, it is 15-30 degrees of Celsius, at which the maximum yield of photosynthetic products is achieved. At night, the temperature drops, photosynthesis ceases, and the intensity of respiration and the associated consumption of carbohydrates decrease. Transpiration also decreases as leaves close their stomata in the dark. The Dutch microbiologist Cornelis van Niel established in the 1940s that light energy is photosynthesis is initially used to split the water molecule. This was confirmed in subsequent work by many scientists. Light serves as the donor of electrons. By absorbing a light quantum, the chlorophyll molecule gains the ability to bind one electron, whereby the latter is transferred to a higher level using an electron pump mechanism. The chlorophyll then transfers the hydrogen from water to carbon dioxide. Organic matter is created and free oxygen is released into the atmosphere. The primary organic matter, through successive chemical synthesis reactions, transforms into carbohydrates, fats, amino acids, and proteins. The overall equation for photosynthesis is as follows. Photosynthesis occurs in two stages, sequentially linked. This discovery was made in 1905 by the English plant physiologist Blackman. The first stage of photosynthesis is called photolysis. It occurs in the light in the pigment part of the plastid, the thylakoids of chloroplasts, and consists of the absorption and transformation of energy. All pigments of the photosystem can absorb photons, but only one chlorophyll molecule of a given photosystem can use the photon's energy in a chemical reaction. The other pigments, like antennas, collect energy and transfer it along a chain to other molecules until it reaches the reaction center. When a chlorophyll molecule absorbs energy, electrons move to a higher energy level, initiating a flow of electrons that are transferred to ATP molecules. Part of the energy is converted into chemical bonds, which are used in the subsequent synthesis of organic substances. Thylakoid membranes contain carotenoids and proteins associated with chlorophyll. In the chloroplast thylakoids, under the influence of solar energy, water is split into hydrogen and oxygen, releasing energy that is stored in ATP and NADP. The second stage of photosynthesis is the dark stage. It occurs without the participation of light in the stoma of chloroplasts, the plasma part of the plastids, and involves the transformation of substances. The stroma contains enzymes necessary for the dark reactions of photosynthesis. Here, carbon is reduced, forming a 5-carbon and then a 6-carbon sugar. This process is called the Calvin cycle, named after the American biochemist Melvin Calvin, who received the Nobel Prize in 1961 for this discovery. As a result, carbon accumulates in the form of primary organic matter. This stage is also called the energy stage, as it involves the expenditure of energy for the synthesis of substances. Thus, during photosynthesis, using absorbed energy, water and carbon dioxide in chloroplasts are converted into energy-rich storage substances, carbohydrates such as glucose, starch, and so on.